Good morning, Daksh.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm fine.
The previous class has ended.
Yes, ma'am.
Where are the children?
Mining. And today we will start from Marathas.
Yes. Did you people try doing that? Making the
Which
coins. Did you make the coins?
and did not receive the time.
Did not receive
Good
them?
morning, ma'am.
The time. Morning.
Ma'am, I made the coin.
Show me.
Ma'am, 1 minute. Ma'am, I'm standing.
Wow. See, Daksh, that's what we call dedication.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Ashika.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you?
Ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning,
I
Jasper.
have sent. Ma'am, I have sent.
Wow.
Ma'am, but it is not, ma'am, full, ma'am, correct.
But still, it is very nice. Click good picture of it, and no, and just like, have you made one only, or have you made few?
Ma'am, I have made, ma'am, 2, 3, ma'am, but, ma'am, some are not, ma'am, some are
Ma'am,
broken.
good morning.
Good morning, Utkarsh. Very nice, Krishna. Very good. So you can just click a picture of it stating that medieval coins and like nice picture with editing and all, and then post it in the group. Okay. You can write medieval coins. Okay. Made self-made medieval coins. This you can write in that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Has anyone else made?
Ma'am, I can tell you, ma'am, 5 names of rivers of Punjab.
Very good, Krishna. I am very much impressed by you. Very good.
Can I tell?
Yes, please tell.
The 5 names of Punjab river are Sutlej, Beesh, Ravi, Chenab, or Jhelum.
Very good. Daksh told me this.
Yesterday.
yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I did say that because I knew you were about to say it, Daksh. See, I know you so well. Very good. Has anyone else made this medieval coin?
Ma'am, Utkarsh has made.
Utkarsh,
Ma'am, I have made, ma'am. I only have to, ma'am, color them. Then it will be.
show me how much is it done?
Ma'am, can I send a photo on group?
Yeah, please send it.
Ma'am, what we have to do?
Beta Ashika, we yesterday shared a video in which they have taught you how to make medieval coins, right? So that's what I told you people to do it. I gave them the time till Sunday, but Krishna and Utkarsh have excelled and they have done it yesterday only.
Okay,
I have
ma'am.
made 2.
Very good, Krishna.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very nice. I'm very happy with you that you are taking things so seriously.
I'm sent.
Utkarsh has sent. Nice, Utkarsh. You have colored them as well. Utkarsh, can you do me a favor? Can you click a picture by keeping it on a white surface? Like keep it in a notebook or something.
Okay.
A notebook which has a blank page and then click a picture so that it will be visible clearly. Children, these things also matter a lot. At times what happens is that something we have made is very beautiful, but the way you present it matters the most. Haven't you seen that whenever we are eating food, whenever we are going to restaurants and all, many a times we first of all, what do we look at for the food? Do we look
Ma'am,
at
menu.
once the food has been delivered to you, when the food has come?
Ma'am, it decoration of food.
Exactly the way the food has been presented, because you know what, our eyes eat 70% of it before our mouth thinks. See again the picture you have clicked now, click it in such a manner that this shadow doesn't come. It's being shadowed by your phone.
Okay.
You see the shadow, Utkarsh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So presentation matters a lot. The way you're presenting things can make it completely different. Nowadays, you people might be seeing, no, and you people are using YouTube and all. You have seen, how do they show us tricks to click nice pictures? See now, can you see the difference instantly?
Yes, ma'am.
And see, it will look more better in this manner. See now, I'll tell you some. I'll be teaching you photographical skills today as well. You can thank me later, kids.
Ma'am, I know.
What do you know? What should he have done? Tell me, Daksh.
Ma'am, I know photographical skills.
Oh, wonderful. It is what is left in it. I have to say, I find it done. What is left in it? Utkarsh?
Ma'am, that silver color paint.
Oh. I'll be waiting for it tomorrow. I want each one of you to send me these. Please send me, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone will do that. Ayushi, Jasmine, Sukhsed, will you do it?
I'm
as
on your
well?
personal number or group?
Group.
Send you.
Will you do it,
Okay,
Jasmine?
ma'am.
Ma'am, I will send you at Sunday.
On Sunday. Daksh, will you do it?
I will send you today.
Good morning,
Ma'am, try.
ma'am.
No, try. I will do it.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Ibaz. Ibaz, where are your coins?
Ma'am, which one?
Yesterday I shared a video, no? See, Utkarsh, I sent you the picture. Like, I just cropped it up. Now it's looking way better. Right? I just cropped the excess surface. Now it's looking, it is only on a black background, only on a white background. Right, Utkarsh?
Yes, ma'am.
You people are amazing. Keep up the good work. Okay, children. So, yes, Ayushi, Utkarsh, Eba has already sent. Ayushi and these people. Hamad, Ashika, will you send me your coins by tomorrow? Lakshya, will you do it?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be waiting for your work. Okay. Fine. So let's get started with Marathas. Today we have to begin with Marathas. So children, how many of you have seen
Ma'am,
Tanaji?
new chapter. Ma'am, new chapter.
No, new chapter.
Tanaji?
Chapter 10. Yeah, how many of you have seen Tanaji?
Ma'am, I
Oh, ma'am.
half.
Ma'am, please tell the page number.
Ma'am, that Mughal and Maratha fight. I've seen that. It when
Ma'am, I have seen.
Yes.
Ma'am, Tanaji's
why
ancient
is not
story.
coming?
Utkarsh has seen, Daksh have seen. Have you people seen Tanaji, the movie?
Yes, ma'am. The Tanaji, the ancient
Oh, ma'am, I have
story.
not seen.
You know what, children will be like, your parents will be like, the teacher is spoiling the kids. But you should watch such movies, Padmavat, Tanhaji.
Ma'am, I have seen half that Mughal and Maratha fight. I've seen that.
Yes, you'll see the Mughal powers, the Maratha rulers. You'll see that how dedicated they
Ma'am,
were.
they were they were farmers, and also they were have more land, and
Why were they
they
fighting, Doug? Can you tell me why were they fighting? Can you tell me why were they fighting? They were fighting to protect their land, right? Why were they fighting?
ma'am.
To protect their.
Yes, ma'am, because Mughals have covered their land.
Yes, they were coming to attack on their land, no, from different places, different directions, and they fought to protect their land. So this is what these people used to fight back in those days, right? So if you want to see how Marathas were, Shivaji Rao, there are many movies on Shivaji as well. Okay. And then you can also see this Bajirao Mastani. You'll get to your, what is a Peshwa and all. You'll see like Bajirao was also Peshwa Bajirao, right? Bajirao was known as Peshwa only, no? Isn't it? Have you seen Bajirao?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen that? No?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So now come to the Marathas. Like the Sikhs and the Jats in the north emerged in Deccan as an important force under Shivaji in the mid 17th century. So here they're trying to say, just like the Maratha, like the Sikhs and the Jats emerged in the north, similarly, the Marathas emerged with a very
Ma'am, your
strong
voice is not
power
coming.
in the Deccan area, right? And in which century? In the 17th century. Yes,
Your
Daksh
voice
was
is
saying
not coming.
something.
Hello. Hello, ma'am.
Okay. So soon the Marathas rose to become a kingly power, which, though subdued by Aurangzeb, was never completely crushed. Right? Good morning, Third. So what happened is that Marathas become a kingly power. They did not become only Subedars or this and that. No, they emerged as a very big kingdom. Right? They had Shivaji as their king. Okay, and Aurangzeb tried a lot to subdue them. Subdue means
Ma'am, what?
Aurangzeb tried to subdue them. What do you mean by subduing?
Ma'am, kill.
To crush someone, to not let them rise.
मैं person हूँ
दबाना
there
किसी को
मैंने
कहते हैं हिंदी में कॉल किसको दबाना किसको आगे नहीं बढ़ने देना like that is the meaning of
Kill.
not kill subdue them like not let them come
the manner
not manner subdue means to just not let them come I'm not let them rise as equals to you keep subduing them keep them at down right so now but later it was he tried to subdue them he tried to minimize their power he tried to do a lot but he could never completely crush them right even if you have seen Tanas, you would have seen that Marathas were excellent warriors. Have you seen that?
Yes,
They
ma'am.
were excellent warriors. And they have shown a scene in the movie in which there was a warrior in the last, by the end of the movie, he was fighting. Now I don't remember specifically whether his head was cut or his one arm was cut. So I think either it was his arm or his head. Even when that was cut, even after that, that warrior did not stop fighting. He kept
Ma'am.
fighting continuously. Yes, Daksh?
Ma'am, in the movie shown that Mughals kidnapped their Maratha fighters and changed their dress in Mughals. And so
I
the
know.
Marathas are killed in that. They don't know it was very...
Very good. Okay. Right. So now,
गद्दारी करी थी.
yes, right. So he did like they were very efficient warriors. Shivaji was successful because of his ability to mobilize the peasants in his army. Peasants, I told you yesterday. What's the meaning of peasants, children?
Ma'am, silent.
Huh? What's the meaning of peasants?
मैं poor smallholder
Poor small landholders. ठीक है उनके पास बहुत थोड़ा सा लैंड होता है या फिर लैंड नहीं होता है those people are known as what peasants right
peasants
he freed the peasants from exploitation by jagirdars and zamindars and established direct contact with them right what did he do he asked peasants to join his army the peasants started working in his army as warriors right a very big benefit of Shivaji that he also acquired the peasants in his army because of which only he had such a large army, right? This was the only reason he could get such a large army. Now, Shivaji was successful because of his ability to mobilize peasants in his army. He freed the peasants from exploitation by Jagirdars and Zamindars and established direct contact with them. He was like, you do not need to be feared from these people now. You do not need to fear the Jagirdars or Zamindars. They cannot exploit you anymore. I am there as a protector. I am going to protect you and I'll be in touch with you directly, right? Because we know these Jagirdars and Zamindars were appointed by the king to collect taxes from the peasants, and in return what they started doing is they started exploiting the peasants, taking many more taxes from them and this and that. So Shivaji eliminated this problem. He was like, no, you can come in direct contact with me and you don't need to fear from these zamindars and jagirdars, right? He did not only curb the power of bigger landlords called deshmukhs but also claimed to be one of them by establishing matrimonial relations with their family. What did he do? There were some Deshmukhs who were big landlords. And as you know that what is happening, Krishna? As you know that big landlords have obviously done what? They have always exploited the poor peasants. Right, children?
Yes, sir.
right? The big landlords have always done what? They have always exploited the poor peasants. Then Aditya Pratap.
Aditya Pratap.
My goodness.
Ma'am, he ma'am in the previous class also.
Ma'am, he is doing it again.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you can remove the annotate option.
Yes, ma'am. The pen option that is coming. You can remove that.
So what sort of satisfaction do they get with this? I am unable to understand that. Huh?
We can remove that pen
Ma'am,
option.
I think he left.
I know
Yes, ma'am.
I removed him. Yes, so what I was telling you was that, yeah, he did not only curb their power. Curb means diminish their power. Okay, cancel their
Yes,
power.
ma'am.
He just established matrimonial relations with them. Like he being clever, he married their daughter so that he can have greater influence in their decision making. What are they doing with the peasants and this and that, right? His coronation placed him above all the Marathas and made him equal to the rulers of the Deccan. You know what is the meaning of coronation, children?
No, ma'am.
And coronation.
Yes, coronation.
Discrimination.
No. Taj,
Ma'am, fighting with each other.
Taj Koshi. Right? Giving him the title of the king, of the lord, of
The
the
ceremony of crowing.
yes, right. So his coronation placed him, like after his coronation, he became above all the Marathas and he became equal to the rulers of the Deccan. In 1674, Shivaji made Raigad his capital. So the question can come: what was the capital of the Marathas? Okay, or the Shivaji's kingdom? Then the answer will be Raigad. He assured, he assumed
where
the
it is written?
title Chhatrapati, and later on he was
Page number 76.
Chhatrapati. That's why he was known as Chhatrapati
Shivaji.
Shivaji. Very good. That's why he was
Shivaji.
known as Chhatrapati Shivaji. Shortly after this, he made a great expedition into the southern India and conquered Jingi, Vellore, and many forts in Karnataka. What is the meaning of expedition?
I'm finding.
He went on to find new areas and conquer them. And he died at Raigad in 1680 after ruling only for 6 years. So if we talk about his time span, then he has ruled for a very shorter time period, but he has ruled very efficiently in these 6 years. In this short time, he founded the Maratha kingdom, which dominated Western India for a century and a half. Right? So for around a longer time, it had ruled. The Maratha kingdom had dominated the Western India. And the Maratha kingdom was found by whom, children?
Ma'am, what?
The Maratha kingdom was
Chhatrapati
found by
Shivaji. Shivaji.
Chhatrapati Shivaji.
question can come like this, right, children? You have to be very particular about these questions. They can come. Who founded the Maratha kingdom? Who was the leader of the Jats? Who was the leader of the Sikhs? These questions can come.
Man, who
Yes.
founded
Guru
Mughal?
Gobind Singh.
Important.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Sure.
Ma'am, who founded Mughal?
Mughal Empire. You have read this in class 6. Don't you remember?
Ma'am, 7th only naturally.
Tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Who founded? Ibad will tell us. Yes, Ibad. Who founded the Mughal Empire?
मैं बाबर.
Is your name Ibad? Krishna.
मैम
Babur was the first ruler.
Yes, Babur was the person who founded the Mughal Empire.
मैं बाबर नहीं बाबर.
मैं
Babur.
बात करेंगे बाबू.
Who's saying Babu?
Ma'am, Ibad.
मैं विवाद.
Ibad is B-A-B-U-R. Right? The Maratha polity was essentially centralized autocratic monarchy, right? We talk about the political structure, then they were a monarchy, we know that. Centralized monarchy here, where at the power was Shivaji, and after that, Shivaji's son and all. So to the king, there was a council of ministers known as Asht Pradhan, right? So the king
Ma'am,
also
your
had
question can come,
nobles.
what is Ashpataram?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Right, or the question can also be like, what was the council of ministers in the Shivaji kingdom known as? It was known as
Ashpatalam.
Ashpataram.
Ashtu Pradhan. What was it known as?
Ashtapradhan.
Ashpatalam.
Ashtrapradhan.
Yes, right.
Ma'am, Pradhan before Asht.
Shivaji divided territory directly in his rule into 3 provinces, okay, and each of them had a viceroy. He further divided into prants, each of which was subdivided into parganas and taluk, and the lowest was the village, and each village had a headman or patil. There's a patil side we used to be there in Marathas, okay. So this was a division of the kingdom. Now, yes, Krishna, read.
Ma'am, okay, ma'am. The assessment of revenue was made after a careful survey and a classification of the lands according to their quality and yield. The share of the state was fixed at 2/5 of the gross produce. The cultivator was given the option of paying either in cash or in kind. Besides the land revenues, Shivaji had other source of income, of which the most important were the Chauth and Sardesh Mukhi. The Chauth amounted to 1/4 of the central revenue assessment of the place. The Sardesh Mukhi was an additional levy of 10% demanded from area outside his kingdom because he claimed to be the hereditary Sardesh Mukhi hereditary Sardesh chief headman of the entire Maratha country. These taxes were levied as a kind of a protection money against Shivaji's force, plundering or raiding their territory.
Okay. Plundering or raiding territory, right? So the assessment of revenue. What is revenue, children? What is the meaning of the term revenue?
Collecting taxes.
Very good. Revenue
correct.
refers to the tax collection, right? Now we need to assess how the revenue is being collected, whether it's being collected properly or not. So the assessment of revenue was made by a careful survey and classification according to their quality and yield of the gross produce. Gross means approximate produce, how much they have produced. The cultivator was having the option of paying either in cash or in kind. The cultivator means who? Who refers to the cultivator?
Cultivating tax.
Cultivator कौन होता है? Who's the cultivator?
Ma'am, who will collect, ma'am, taxes?
Yes. Cultivator correct tax correct करता है. Wow. गलत. Wrong.
Ma'am, field.
Cultivator is the farmer who cultivates the field.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, field.
Okay.
Okay. Cultivator is the person who does what? Who cultivates the field.
Farmer.
Right? The farmer.
Ma'am, agriculture spice.
Exactly. Farmer, cultivator, agriculturist are the same thing. So the cultivator has the option either he can pay in
Ma'am,
cash.
it is like a machine.
What?
Ma'am, nothing, ma'am, nothing.
What is like a machine? Cultivator? No, beta.
Ma'am.
Farmer only is known as cultivator.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Okay. It's okay to give wrong answers. No worries. People do not know at times. But cultivator refers to the person who's cultivating the land. Okay. Right. So he has the option of paying either in cash or in kind. How can he pay in kind, children?
Ma'am, in cash.
How can he pay in kind? You tell me. No, he has the option of paying both in cash and in kind. But how he would have paid in kind?
Ma'am, to help somebody that if they are in any problem.
Oh, and instead of paying cash, he could have given the king a part of his crop which he has grown. That's how he could have paid in kind. He could have worked in king's farm or at king's palace, right? That's how he would have paid in kind, right? So this is the way he could have paid, either in cash or in kind. Besides the land revenue, Shivaji had other sources of income which were and important were Chauth and Sardeshi. This is very, very, very important, children. Okay, which is Chauth and Sardesh Mukhi. Question comes on it.
And what are chorts and
The chauth amounted 1/4 of the standard revenue assessment, right? Whatever the revenue has been taken, 1/4 of that has to be paid, and the Sardesh Mukhi was an additional tax of 10% demanded for from the areas out of his kingdom, right?
Am I highlighted this?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? This is not working properly. Yeah. From the areas out of his kingdom because he claimed to be hereditary Sardesh Mukhi, chief headman of the entire Maratha country. Basically, the ruler refers to be the headman of the entire Maratha country. So even if the areas which were out of his kingdom, that also he used to take tax from. That was 10% extra tax, which was known as Sardesh Mukhi, right? So these taxes lived as a kind of protection money as Shivaji's forces plundering. As Shivaji protects them from forces plundering on raiding territory, right? Shivaji is protecting them from the raiders and all. So that's why he was taking this tax as well, and in return, Shivaji used to provide them what?
Crops.
No, Shivaji crops provide karega. In return, Shivaji provides them protection.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. So now these taxes lead and Shivaji's forces kept on protecting the villagers from plundering or raiding. Now, some important officials, again, this is very important, children. Please mark important on it.
Yes.
Important officials of Maratha's administration.
What are the
Peshwa,
important officials of Maratha's administration?
Peshwa, Mazumdar,
Ma'am, I marked.
and Nyadhish, right? Peshwa was the head of both civil and military affairs, right? Mazumdar was the person who used to look into the income expenditure of the state, who used to take care how much expenses, like you can say the financial minister kind of, okay,
Okay,
of
ma'am.
the state.
Okay, ma'am.
Senapati,
Ma'am, these
as
are the
we all-
names of people.
These are the titles given to the people. Like we give titles,
Okay,
no,
ma'am.
prime minister, president, this and that. That's how they have. The Peshwa was the head of both civil and military affairs, just like our prime minister is. Similarly, Mazumdar looked into the income expenditure, just like our financial minister does. Senapati was the
Yes, sir.
commander in chief, military head, and Nyadhish was the chief justice, just like we have judges now. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Now let's talk about Marathas under Peshwas. Now what happened is, after Shivaji's death, the effective of the Maratha kingdom fell into the hands of Peshwas, who served dash successors. What is written in? Please read that. Who
Ma'am,
served
Ma'am Shivaji.
Can I read,
Shivaji's
please?
successors, right? Wait a minute. So after Shivaji's death, the so strong kingdom fell into the hands of Peshwas. Now the Peshwa starting ruling the Maratha kingdom, and Bajirao Peshwa is one such example, right? Right, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
That is why
Ma'am.
Shivaji is treated, basically Shivaji is treated as a lord. The Maratha treats him as their own god or as a lord because it was Shivaji only who provided them this, identity, this kingdom and everything. Now, their seat of power was in Pune. Yes, Daksh, read it.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, under the Peshawas, the Marathas empire was converted into a loose confederation governed by
Read from after the
By-
Shivaji's death.
okay, ma'am. After Shivaji's death, the effective control of the Maratha kingdom fell into the hands of Peshawas, who served Shivaji's successor. Their
Wait,
seat of the
Daksh,
powers
yesterday
was
I told you this is not the way to read. No, we do not read like
Ma'am, he is reading very fast.
That's not the way to read. No, properly. Yes.
okay, ma'am. Their seat of power was at Pune. Under the Peshawars, they developed a successful military organization. The Marathas fought against the Mughals and expanded their territory between 1720 and 1761. Malwa and Gujarat were seized by the Mughals during the
Seized, not size, seized.
seized by the Mughals during the 1720. After the 1737 raid on Delhi, the Marathas expanded their territories further towards the north in Punjab, in Rajasthan, into Bengal and Odisha in the east, and into Karnataka and Tamil Nadu in the south. The Marathas, however, only collected
Tributes.
tributes from these areas, but did not include them in the Maratha Empire.
Okay, stop here.
Ma'am, most questions are framing.
What?
Most questions are framing.
Many questions can be framed. So the seat of power was at Pune, and under the Peshwas, they developed a successful military organization. The Peshwas made a very successful military organization, and the Marathas fought against the Mughals and expanded their territories between 1720 and 1761. They expanded their empire, right? Which means they grew their empire. But Malwa and Gujarat were seized by the Mughals during 1720s. During the 1720s, Mughals seized both these areas. They captured both these areas. You can write, like underline seized, you can also write captured. This is a word which you can use instead of seized, right? So they captured Malwa and Gujarat during the 1720s, and after 1737 raid on Delhi, right? When they occurred a raid on Delhi, the Marathas expanded their territories further towards the north in Punjab and Rajasthan onto Bengal, and Odisha in the east into Karnataka and Tamil Nadu in the south. Now you can see, children, how vastly they were expanding their empire, right? Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So the
ma'am.
Marathas, however, only collected tributes from these areas but did not include them in the Maratha Empire. Basically, what did they do? They just acquired their overlordship, you can say there. Yesterday I told you something about overlord,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Ma'am,
So
you said na ma'am, overload.
right, I explained the meaning of overlord. So what did Marathas do? They acquired these areas, and after winning the war, they did not ask them to be submissive to them and to become a part of the Maratha kingdom. No, they just asked them to keep on giving them tributes. Tributes means gifts or tax in the forms of taxes or something like that. Keep giving them money with which they can flourish their own kingdom, but they did not include these areas in
Lord
their
having
kingdom,
power.
right? So under Peshwas, Maratha Empire was converted into the loose confederacy governed by independent Maratha chiefs, which turned out to be the primary cause of Maratha downfall. What happened is that the Peshwas did, like the Maratha Empire, become a loose confederacy. It was not one united kingdom. They gave different areas to different Maratha chiefs. Now, what happened is that again those Maratha chiefs started having troubles within each other. They all again fought with each other, and it led to the decline of the Maratha kingdom, right? The third battle of Panipat, very important, children, mark it right now.
Okay, ma'am.
Third battle of Panipat, right?
Was in 1761.
And this again, I'm telling you, these questions related to the battle of Panipat, not only in this class, but
The
also
Marathas
in
fought
the
against the
future.
Mughals and expanded the
These
territory between dash
questions
and
are
dash.
very important. They come in general knowledge part of every exam. Such questions come, right? So the
Yes, ma'am.
third battle of Panipat, which was fought in 1761, not only resulted in a defeat of the Maratha army, but also spelled the doom of the Maratha cause. Like they doomed. They just
In the
declined.
starting chapter, we have a table.
Hanji?
Ma'am, I'm saying, ma'am, in the starting the chapter, we have written ma'am these, ma'am, second, third.
Right. Then there were two developments after the third battle of Panipat which had far-reaching consequences in Maratha affairs. One was that the Marathas were defeated in the battle. Who was defeated in the battle of Panipat, children?
Maratha.
Marathas, and it ended their possibility of establishing an all India empire. With this defeat, it became clear that the Marathas could not establish an all India empire just like that of the Mughals. It led to the establishment of the Maratha succession states in Gujarat. Gaikwad family founded with its own capital at Baroda, right? Likewise, the Bhosles also settled themselves into Nagpur with their dominion stretching up to Odisha. Right? Clear?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's what led after the decline of the Marathas in the war of Panipat. Different again from just like the same thing happened with the Mughals, right? The Mughals, the people asserted their independence. The same thing happened here that the Gaikwad family in the Bhosles founded their own areas and they settled the Gaikwad settled their capital at Baroda, whereas the Bhosles settled themselves at Nagpur and they also stretched their dominions to Odisha. So this was all about the Maratha kingdom. I hope you have understood this. Have
Yes,
you?
ma'am.
Have you?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am,
Just say
clearly.
yes, ma'am, for
Yes,
now.
ma'am.
And tomorrow, if I'll ask you the questions related to the same, then you will be like, no, ma'am, I do not know, ma'am. Ma'am, what, ma'am?
Ma'am, you ask. Ma'am, I can answer.
You ask, I can answer. Okay, now I would like to ask Laksha to read about Bengal. Now we're talking about emergence of new states. Lakshmi is saying, would you read?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can I read?
Bengal. Bengal broke away from Mughal control under the
Murshid Quli Khan.
Murshid Quli
Again,
Khan.
very important children. Question can
17.
come.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Further read, beta.
Ma'am.
He transferred his capital from Dhaka to Murshidabad.
Murshidabad. Not Dhaka, it's
Ma'am,
Murshidabad.
Dhaka.
Bangladesh capital.
It's
Ma'am.
Dhaka to
He
Murshidabad.
gra- okay, ma'am.
Question
He
can come from
gradually
this as well,
assumed.
children. Okay, this is also
Ma'am,
very
I'm highlighting.
Hmm.
Ma'am, Dhaka to Murshidabad.
Ma'am, Murshidabad in Bangladesh or in India?
Nearby.
Ma'am, border.
Not border exactly. Yes, Lakshya. Lakshya, read.
Yes, ma'am. He gradually assumed uh, auto, autonomy through th- uh,
Continuing
through
to pay.
continuing to pay tribute to the Mughal emperor. He carried out the following reforms: Re- reorganization of finance by transfer of large parts of Jig- Jagir land into the Khalisha crown lands and
Khalisa.
introduction of the Khalisa lands and introduction of the system of revenue farming. Recognition of administration by
Reorganization, not recognition. Reorganization.
reorganization of administration by giving equal opportunities of employment of Muslims and Hindus. Expansion of
Expansion.
trade,
Expansion.
expansion of trade and commerce
Com-
by
com-
encouraging
Excuse.
encouraging the Indian and foreign
Foreign.
foreign merchants provide security to them on road and
Security.
river.
Security.
Security to them and on road and rivers. Check private trade by official prevented
Bungling.
bungling bungling in customs administration and so on. Re- regul-
Regulating.
regulating foreign trading
Trading
companies
companies.
companies by maintaining strict control over their activities, preventing the servant of the East India Company by
From
abusing
abusing
the priv- privi-
privileges.
privileges granted to the companies by Mughal
Farmans.
farmers of 1691 and 1770.
Parochials.
Parochials,
Establishment. Establishment.
establishment of law and order by sup,
Suppressing
suppressing the
rebellious
rebellious
zamindar.
zamindars.
Laksha, you need to practice reading, beta. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, children,
Ma'am.
as the meeting is about to over,
Ma'am.
I'll explain you the
Yes,
solution in
ma'am.
the next lecture.
Ma'am.
Yes, Daksh.
Ma'am, these are full points we will highlight. Let it is by transfer
Oh,
of
you will not
that.
highlight all the points. I'll tell you what point. You can just highlight the like. I'll tell you what you have to
Highlight the main line.
main
Then
lines, right?
explanation of
Okay, so these are the few things which they carried out, like reorganizing finances, administration, expanding trade and commerce, regulating foreign trades, and establishment of law and order. Who did all this? Murshid Kuli Khan.
Mushib Khan.
Kuli Khan.
Kudi Khan.